Well, good evening! Please give yourselves a nice round of applause. We've had a fantastic 3 days. And again, 3 cheers to the weatherman who've done a great job. My name is Too Tall Tony. I still have a voice, and great and proud to have been your announcer MC for the last 3 days up in the booth. But again, we are kicking tonight. And again, I certainly want to thank on behalf of Dragon Boat Canada, also the team, the amazing team from the Regina Dragon Boat Festival, who've done a tremendous job for the last 3 days. We've had some issues, and of course the weather. This is certainly a weekend that we remember, but you have come together, the camaraderie, and the fierce competition has truly been awesome. Please give a nice round of applause to our volunteers who've done a tremendous job. All right, they are the heart and soul, and also we want to thank our sponsors who've done a tremendous job. First off, Last Mountain Distillery, University of Regina Confucius Center. Also want to thank Regina Rolling Robot Studio, Loras A1 Rentals, Wingate by Wyndham, Epcor, Rebellion Brewing Company. We do have beer on tap, and if you've run out of cash, we have 2 ATM machines. Okay, so we've got everything covered. Also want to thank Epcor, Gale Florist, the Evolution Audiovisual, and also want to thank Tourism Saskatchewan, Regina Hotel Association, Regina Infinite Horizons. And of course, we're going to bring Scott Murray up in a few seconds, and then we will have our Hall of Fame presentations. I will be reading out a series of biographies. We have 2 pictures for those who are not here tonight. And of course, we'll be handing out the burgee winners. Once we've done that, we are going to party, and I get to have some beer. All right. I've got 2 cans over there with my name on it, so don't touch them. Gives me a great pleasure right now to introduce the man of the hour, the president of Dragon Boat Canada, Mr. Scott Murray. All right, sir, the stage is yours. Scott, we're going to bring him on a zip line a few minutes ago, but thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Tony. Tony does a great job for us. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Tony? I want to start just by acknowledging and thanking my designer. I am wearing Jeff H tonight. For those of you who don't know, I'm wearing a Jeff H original. So I'd like Jeff to step into the middle. Jeff is shy, but he's my designer, and he's shy, but Tony already did it. He acknowledged our volunteers, and I'd just like to acknowledge Jeff as a representative of all of our volunteers and all of our officials on the ground, more than 12 hours a day, from dawn till dusk. We can't thank them enough. Jeff, tonight we're going to give you a round of applause representing all of those people. Thank you very much. Of course, thank you to the athletes. This is your event. You are simply phenomenal. Simply phenomenal. This weekend's racing was unbelievable, and I'll get to that more in a moment. But this weekend was also challenging. This weekend also didn't meet your expectations in terms of running on time. This weekend didn't meet your expectations as members in all ways. So something that I do with my teammates, and I consider myself your teammate, is I tell them that in good times or bad, I must look you in the eye and tell you that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make our team improve. So that's what I'm saying to you tonight, that I'm going to do everything I possibly can so that 2 years from now, when we have our next qualifying regatta, things are going to run on time. And you can look me in the eye, and I can look you in the eye and tell you that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make it work the best that it possibly can. But there were many many successes this weekend. Our challenges are also a sign that this event that Matt Smith brought to us, that Dragon Boat Canada brought to us many years ago, has arrived. This event, from a competition standpoint, is the best. From an athlete standpoint, from a competition, from a challenge standpoint, it's the fastest event in the entire world. This event, you can look this up. Look up any Club Crew World Championship results that you want to find. This event is faster than the Club Crew World Championships. Canada, you're faster than the world. Not everything worked this weekend, but one thing that worked extremely well was lanes 1 through 6. Every lane was 20 feet deep. Every lane gave every team an opportunity to win. And having paddled all over the world, I can't tell you how rare it is to be on a race course where you line up in lane 6 and you believe you can win, you line up in lane 1 and you believe you can win, you line up in lane 3 and you believe you can win. So the Wascana Lake did its job. And finally, I just want to thank the athletes one more time. I'm honestly astonished at every single category, from junior to senior C, required athletes to qualify their berths. That is extremely unique. There's no other country in the world that can say that. Every single category, no one gets to go to the World Championships for free. Everything that happened at this regatta was earned. So give yourselves a round of applause for what you earned. Your blood, sweat, and tears was on display this weekend, and for that I salute you. In closing, paddles up, rock and roll, party on.
Mr. Scott Murray. Thank you, sir. Moving on to a very, very important category, and please bear with me, we have a number of biographies to read, but this again is critically important. The sport of dragon boating has grown tremendously, and tonight we are honoring a very, very, very special group of people, including a gentleman I've known for many years. We ran the Boston Marathon, but that's an old story from years ago. The Hall of Fame, and they'll all be getting a beautiful Hornet paddle later on this evening. We have 4 of our Hall of Famers here this evening, and they will be coming up here on stage to say a few words and making a special presentation, getting their Hornet paddle tonight. But I'm going to start off with 2 people who are not here tonight, and hopefully we'll have this corrected. We will see their pictures up on the screen. And first, please bear with me. And first, we like to honor Sue Humphreys. Sue started her paddling career as a founding member of the Toronto's BCS crew, Dragons Abreast, little realizing the impact it would have on the next 20 years of her life. Now, in the early 2000s, dragon boating in Canada had developed to the point where it became apparent that the current sport governing body, the Dragon Boat Racing Council of Canada, needed to be re-engineered into an organization that would be representative of paddlers and coaches nationwide. In the spring of 2002, Sue, Adrian Lee, and Wendy Perkins organized and convened a weekend conference, which served as the first general meeting of what would become Dragon Boat Canada. Now, Sue served as a volunteer secretariat to the board for 3 years and then was elected the first president. She served in that capacity for 1 year and for another 8 years as a member of the board. She currently serves as a member of the High Performance Committee. And in 2005, working with Ellen Law of the United States and Mike Haslam from the IDBF, Sue played an instrumental role in convening and convincing the IDBF to introduce the Senior B racing class at the IDBF Championships. Senior C was added in 2003. Now, as a paddler, Sue has been proud to represent Canada at the IDBF WRCC's racing in Senior A, Senior B, and Senior C. 2018, she competed in the IVF World Outrigger Sprints, where she and her fellow crew members set a world record in Masters 70 Women OC6. Big round of applause for Sue Humphreys. See her picture up on the screen. And this next gentleman, great, and I did my research, and trust me, when I was giving a lot of love to the team from breast cancer survivors, because I speak from the heart, because my sister is a breast cancer survivor. I know what she's gone through, and she's always wanted to paddle. And when I found out about Dr. Donna McKenzie, I was simply blown away. Is our next inductee, not here tonight, but a little history on Dr. Don McKenzie, if you're not aware of his tremendous achievement. Don McKenzie was introduced to dragon boating in 1986 during Expo 86 held in Vancouver. And when he was looking for a way to demonstrate that women recovering from breast cancer could do repetitive, strenuous upper body exercise without developing lymphedema, dragon boating was an obvious choice. Of course. Now, that idea has had an impact and has been felt the world over. Now, those initial 20 women recruited in 1996 fell in love with the sport and decided to continue paddling and racing, even though the study was complete. Now, 2 years later, the first dragon boat race exclusively for PCS crews took place at the Toronto International Dragon Boat Festival between teams from Vancouver, Toronto, Hamilton, and Montreal. 20 years later, the third International Breast Cancer Paddlers Commission Festival was held in Florence, Italy, with over 120 teams from 6 continents participating, as well as the Dragon Boat Canada National Championships and the IDBF WCCs, including a racing class solely for BCS crews. Now, thousands of women and a few men are raising awareness of the disease and sending a message that one can live a healthy and active life after a diagnosis of breast cancer, and that possibilities are endless. Donna says it's been a privilege to be part of the PCS paddling program, and he has been proud to support those who have embraced canoeing as a way to better health. Nothing is more Canadian than canoeing. Right on, Mr. Don, or rather Dr. Don McKenzie, up on the screen. Okay, and now four great people who will be here tonight. They will be coming up on stage, getting a beautiful hornet paddle, and they'll be saying a few words as well. And a little bit about the great Andrea Dillon. Andrea is a true... They can say a few words if they want to, not a problem. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm going to say a few words. Oh, hello. Okay, you can sit down. Okay, I'll stand up. Okay. Okay, Andrea Dillon. She is here. Andrea is a true pioneer of dragon boating in Canada. She was a founding member of the Falls Creek Racing and Canoe Club, the first dragon boat. Dragon Boat Club in Canada, and she has served on the executive committee for the past 30 years. 1992, she assumed responsibility for coaching the legendary FC RCC women's crew, leading them to multiple medals at the 1995, 99, 2001, and 2005 WRCCs and the 2006 CCWC. She continues to coach the Falls Creek Peer program. I've got this to read. Okay, so you're getting the love. Andrea was instrumental in the establishment of the FCRCC Women's Regatta, which has been held for the past 19 years. As a co-founder with Jackie Weber of Water's Edge, she played a major role in the expansion of the sport in BC. The company introduced dragon boat racing to remote parts of the province and further development in the lower mainland through new and unique regattas and team building events. They also promoted coach and athlete development by delivering the Dragon Boat Canada coaching community Dragon Boat course and through other clinics, conferences and camps. Andrea is Canada's most experienced national team coach, having coached teams at 9 of the 13 IDBF WRCCs, including Premier, Seniors A and Senior C programs. And she is currently working with Kamini Jane. Thank you. Kamini Jane is a coach for the 2019 Senior C national team, Tema, which will compete in August in Pattaya, Thailand. Andrea Dillon. What's up, you want to say a few words?
It's always polite to say thank you for the acknowledgement and thank you very much, and let's rock and roll.
All right, thank you. Okay, now you can sit. That's the deal. Okay, good. She can do what she wants with a chair. All right, moving on to Matt Smith. Matt Smith. Okay, now we're going to embarrass Matt Smith getting his paddle tonight. A few words about Matt. Matt Smith has a distinguished record as both as a paddler and a coach. He has over 30 years experience as a paddler, including as a national team athlete. He's been coaching Dragon Boat for over 20 years and has been the Premier National Team Program Director for the past 10 years. As a co-founder with fellow paddler Matt Roberts of 22 Dragons, Matt has built a thriving business providing Dragon Boat services and equipment to numerous festivals in Canada and the United States. The Montreal-based 22 Dragons Dragon Boat training facility was established in 2003, and Matt has coached several gold medal winning club crews with the 22 Dragons Club. Matt was president of Dragon Boat Canada for 10 years, and during that time led the organization through a significant period of growth and development. And under his leadership, Dragon Boat Canada became the robust national sport governing body it is today, and which serves as a model for other Dragon Boat organizations the world over. He currently serves as the second vice president of the IDBF, ensuring that Canada continues to play a leadership role at the international level. Mr. Matt Smith. That's a few words. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this honor. Thinking of this, I became president 13 years ago. I was 29 years old. There was no national championships back then. We had our national team trials to choose our national teams. And I'll never forget my first national event. I marshaled teams, drove to the start line, started the race, drove back to the finish line because the timer didn't know how to work the camera. We've come a long way since then, and this is just an amazing thing to see 150 crews here. So I'm very, very proud of what Dragon Boat Canada has accomplished, and thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for this honor.
All right, thank you. But now you can maybe move the chair over. And I can tell you how honored I am to introduce this gentleman. Makes me feel short. Jim and I go back, way back, with our running club in Longboat Roadrunners. And this gentleman passed me in the Boston Marathon at about 22 miles, which we always talk about. But Jim Parentosh, how you doing there, big guy? Okay, good. Now I'm going to embarrass Mr. Jim Farentos now as a lifelong sprint paddler. Jim has been part of dragon boating in Canada and Dragon Boat Canada since the very early days. Now Jim's influence on our sport has reached wide and deep. He has worked with beginning paddlers, club paddlers, and paddlers competing against the best in the world. at the international level. He has been especially generous in sharing both his technical knowledge and his knowledge of the soft skills of coaching with developing coaches. Now, over the past 21 years, the achievements of crews coached by Jim are almost mind-boggling. At the world level, Jim's national teams and club crews have won 22 gold, 12 silver, and 4 bronze medals. At the national level, his Toronto-based club crews have won multiple Canadian championships, and at the local level, his crews have won over 75 A Division finals. Well, I can feel the love. Now, through his work with the national team program, he has coached athletes from every region of the country to compete at the highest level of our sport. And through his legendary Space Coast Dragon Boat camps, he has helped thousands of athletes become skilled paddlers. In his work delivering the Dragon Boat Canada Level 2 Coaching Certification Program, Jim has fostered and encouraged the development of the strong coaching network that Canada is known for. Now, those who have worked with Jim have described him as a teacher, mentor, and a friend, and a great guy. He inspires and supports others to achieve things they never thought possible, and then do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Farintosh. Let me say a few words. How you doing there, big guy?
I look around here, and the absolute most important thing I'd like to begin and thank Dragon Boat Canada again with Andrea and Matt for this honor. This is a special community of people. We've chosen this wonderful sport at Dragon Boat, but it doesn't start with the people. So, thank you all for being as passionate about it as you are. And a special thanks to the present version of my team, the Warriors, who represent, if you like, a lot of people that have put their trust in me as a coach over the years. It's been a privilege. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. I'd like to introduce a gentleman that I had the pleasure of meeting earlier on today. He came up to the announce booth, and we started talking dragon boating, and quite a history, and picked up a few things that we had in common. And a delightful gentleman all the way from Tampa, Florida. And I used to work on cruise ships, so there were a few things that we were talking about. I used to do a lot of running down in Tampa. Mr. Mike Kirkman, if he's here. Hello, Mike. Okay, good. I'll hide behind here.
Blocking the lady.
Now, Mike was a pioneer in the dragon boat service and supply industry in Canada. As a co-founder of Great White North Communications, he was instrumental in the development of numerous festivals across Canada and the United States. In the early 2000s, Mike played a key role in the development of the international standard dragon boat. Now, after securing a distribution agreement with BUK, Mike, with the assistance of Jim Farintosh, redesigned the interior of the European 13-bench boats and launched the BUK NORAM 10-bench boat in the spring of 2000. Now, other boat manufacturers in Europe and Asia, noting the popularity of the new design with Dragon Boat crews, followed suit. Now, by the mid-2000s, the IDBF retired the 13-bench boat and adopted the Canadian 10-bench boat as the standard for international dragon boat racing. Way to go, Canada! We do it good, right? Now, Mike played a pivotal role in the transition of the Dragon Boat Racing Council of Canada, DBRCC, to Dragon Boat Canada, DBC, a truly national sport governing body with representation from across the country. He served on the first board of directors, contributing hours of his time and the resources of his business to ensure that the fledgling organization was a success. Most significantly, he was instrumental in securing the Trillium funding, which enabled us to hire a full-time executive director. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Kirkman.
Thank you.
was a long drive from Tampa, but I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I came. I ran into so many people I haven't seen, some of them in a decade or more, and it was really great to see all you folks. You know, the sport, I've been in the business of the sport for over 20 years, almost 25 years actually. I think I retired once and I couldn't stay away. I moved to Florida and just kind of rebooted the whole thing. And it's been almost a lifetime of involvement in the sport. And I really can't imagine myself having done anything else. Like Jim said earlier, it's just a great community of people. It's a great sport. And it's a great business to be in. And thank you all. It's a great honor, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Mike Kirkman. All right, stand up. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Thank you. Okay, you can hold up your paddles, and if you want to take some pictures, by all means. Want to get some pictures? We'll be moving on to the presentation of the burgee. So again, they have their paddles. Okay, so we'll get the paparazzi. You want to take some pictures? Go crazy, this is your chance. Nice big smile, well done. All right, let's give them a nice great round of applause. Well done. Our 2019 inductees into the Canadian Dragon Boat Canada Hall of Fame. Well done. Moving on to the final portion of the program before we begin to party, before I get the chance to enjoy some Rebellion beer, we're going to be presenting our 2019 CDBC burgees. If we're all set to go. How are we doing, Julie? We're all set to go? Okay, great, our burgees, and the first team we want to bring up, and again, these lovely ladies with a heart of gold. Let's bring up breast cancer survivors, Not a Breast. Are they here? Not a Breast, all the way from Hamilton, Ontario. If they're not here, we'll make sure they get their presentation a little later on. The breast cancer survivor, Not a Breast, are they here? Just looking in the back. If they're not, we'll make sure that they get it at a future date. Certainly not a problem. It's okay. So we'll move on. Okay, the party will continue. Moving on to our junior. The Pickering Dragon Boat Club. I know they're here. Give them a lot of love. Again, many of them competing in their first nationals. Our juniors did a tremendous job today. Pickering Dragon Boat Club, our junior team, well done.
Pickering Juniors. Don't stay right there. Stay right there. I would just like to acknowledge how awesome it is that this group of athletes came this weekend. They were the only participants in the junior program. And it takes a lot of integrity when you know that you're going to win a berth to come and do your best and race as hard as you can anyway. So I think they deserve an extra round of applause.
Thank you. And we will see them in our senior teams a little later on. And the sole competitors in our division. Well done. Good. 1, 2, 3, bang. Good. Thank you. Okay, Premier Dragon Zone. Are they out here? Premier Dragon Zone? Premier Dragon Zone, are they out there within the sound of my voice? Premier Dragon Zone? If they're not here, we'll make sure they get their burgee a little later on. Okay, a Senior A division. Let's bring up the Ottawa Dragon Boat Club. Are they here? The Ottawa Dragon Boat Club, are we here? The Ottawa Dragon Boat Club, I don't think they're here. Are they here? Good. Come up on stage, give them a great round of applause. My hometown, well done. have our photographers again go nuts. Senior A getting the burgee, the Ottawa Dragon Boat Club. Well done. All the way from our nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario. Well done. From the Ottawa Dragon Boat Club. Senior B, are we out here? Our Senior B team, Ottawa Dragon Boat Club. Bring it back, come on back. The Ottawa Dragon Boat Club. We need one representative from the Ottawa Dragon Boat Club for your Senior B team. There's one rep, okay. All right, the stage is yours. Thank you, Senior B. All right. Senior C, let's bring them back up. The Pickering Dragon Boat Club, Senior C. Well done. Senior C, Pickering Dragon Boat Club, well done. Thank you. And finally, let's give them a huge, thunderous applause before we begin to party tonight. Overall burgee going to 22 Dragons. Where are they? Over here, 22 Dragons. Okay, we got the team from 22 Dragons coming up on stage. Okay, we got a few reps. Okay, here they are. I think they were over at the bar. Well done overall. 22 Dragons, well done. All right, that pretty well wraps it up. Again, please, once again, give yourselves a nice round of applause. That pretty well wraps up the closing ceremonies. And again, we want to thank the entire team tonight. So again, lots of Rebellion Brewing Company. I'm going to be heading on over. I'm dying for a great beer. Thank you very much. God bless. And safe travels home. Thank you.